Welcome in, everybody, today to the Dojo. We are joined today by RubiksMoose. Welcome in, RubiksMoose.
Hey, everyone.
And we're going to be doing some coaching in Great League Remix. RubiksMoose has come up with the team independently, but as he was describing earlier, recently discovered YTX posting the usage stats. It's actually one of the more common teams people are using, although I think Rubiks is running it in a slightly different orientation, different order than other people, so be a little bit... Whoa, 10-10. I don't even know what 10-10's on about, but something about that. If you're ready to jump into it, let's go for it. Rubiks, you're familiar with how this works?
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, let's see how it goes.
For those in chat who don't know, the way this works is RubiksMoose will be muted and deafened during his games. I'll be talking during his games live, and you'll be able to hear me. And we'll kind of go through what I'm thinking, what I think he could be doing better or worse, what calls I would make in certain situations. And then after the game, I'll ask him what they think they could do better, and then give some feedback of things I thought they could work on. This is a decent lead. We definitely can't really swap out here. I think if we just shield once... Well, if they go for the Sludge Bomb here, we can shield once and farm down. If they go for a Shadow Punch here, we might have to shield twice. But you really don't want to get Sludge Bombed. Oh, you really don't want to get Sludge Bombed. But we can come in with the Diggersby. I probably would have shielded there for the record. Because I'd like to win Switch. Like, this team's pretty Switch reliant. But the Diggersby double resist Shadow Punch and resist the Sludge Bomb, so we can go for a pretty aggressive farm down here, which like kind of makes sense, I guess, why he'd be willing to let it go. If they had baited there with a Shadow Punch, that was like a really high value play. But this way, he's still like, Diggersby with a bunch of energy is pretty scary to most of the meta. You just see that, ooh, Shadow Punch damage. Let's see what they bring in here for Dugong. We just hit 100 energy. Do we want to swap out right here? Just stay in and double EQ? Do we outpace? That desync CMP, I think they just threw 5. So they're at an Icy Wind, and Dugong would win CMP against Diggersby. Pretty sure on that. We can double check that, chat. They going for? They can't farm down here. Diggersby into Dugong. Yeah, Dugong definitely should be winning CMP there, but they were just farming up a storm. And they're going to pin our Backmon with debuffs, which is not ideal, chat. Yeah, we never, like, whether we take a Water Pulse here or the Icy Wind, we don't really want to shield that. Ooh, okay, Superior. We have a pretty big energy lead. Avalanche is very efficient, 2.0 DPE, so even with one debuff. The issue here is they swapped out that Dugong with some energy. Oh, Leaf Tornado. No debuff on that one, so we're still only 1 stage down, not 3 stages down. And I think we just need to get to 3 avalanches here. We should get to 3 avalanches before they can get to 3 moves. So it should be in a pretty good spot. Hound is king. Thanks for the follow. What's up, Matt Beer? Good evening, squad. Indeed. Also, Carl, welcome in. We just need to get to 1 more avalanche here. We're shielding this because, like, the Dugong probably can't throw anything that's particularly lethal at us. Another Leaf Tornado. Gets the debuff that time. Triple attack down avalanche is superior. Chat, we're hoping it kills. Oh no, triple attack. That's definitely the last. Oh, we get the farm down though? Oh, and they didn't have it. Nice. They do have more energy than that, but I misread it. What do you think about that one, RubiksMoose?
I think I got really lucky in the back, but thought it was okay.
Yeah. I was curious on the big no shield on the lead matchup there.
So there was 2 things. One, this is gonna sound really stupid, but I've spent like 90% of the season running Diggersby in the lead. So when I saw Haunter, I was like, oh yeah, this is a great lead. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until like halfway through that I remembered that I was running Jigglypuff in the lead. The second thing is I figured they were either gonna bait, in which case it did nothing, or or that I've seen a lot of these Ghost Lead teams, and I generally do pretty well against them in the back. So it's like if they bait, then they get nothing. If they sludge me, then I can start loading up on energy in the back.
Yeah, it felt pretty high risk, and personally, I probably shield there, because our team does like having switch advantage. But because you did have the Diggersby, and if they show sludge, then you know that they have nothing for the, not that Haunter ever does, right? Haunter can't run blast like Gengar can. So yeah, I mean, Diggersby always just gonna get a big farm down there. I guess they brought in the Dugong because you were low on energy. They didn't want to take fire punches. That probably they tricked themselves a little bit there.
I think so, yeah.
That was a brave move, but you had a good plan. Like, I think sometimes we get caught up in that was a really crazy move, but you even said going into it this, if he does throw it here, then this is my plan, and if he doesn't, this, having a plan for those bad cases makes them significantly not as bad. And so I think your reasoning there was good, and if they had baited, it would have been huge for you. And they didn't, and you still were in a good spot because you knew what you're going to do, had a plan, stuck to it. So I like the way you played that one. It was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's jump to the next one. The old Wiggly into Frostlass. I think we have to shield once in this matchup to win it. They swap out to a Quagsire. I think Diggersby is a pretty good matchup here because Stone Edge is resistant, so they have to go to EQs, and it probably takes a little more than 2 EQs to kill you. No shield this Stone Edge. I like that call. We're going to throw a Play Rough. Ice Beam enough? Play Rough. The Ice Beam might not quite be enough without Stab on it, neutral damage. Play Rough a little more efficient, and I mean, not that much more energy cost. He's not going to get to 2 moves anyways. My opponent lets it go down, bringing the Frostlass again, and it's going to get a farm down here. Frostlass with a big energy lead, pretty scary. Has moves that are quite threatening to both of these. Goes into the Diggersby. I like that because the Diggersby actually paces better, right? We get to Fire Punches definitely faster, and a Shadow Ball pretty lethal to opposing Frostlass, but Avalanche here, about 60% to that Diggersby. So they're going to throw another one here. I expect a shield to come up. No, just sacking the Diggersby to get rid of the energy. RubiksMoose full of bold plays. And then they have a Goon. And the 2 shields, I think that we can win this matchup. But I don't think we're going to come out of it very healthy or with much energy. Let's look up Frostlass into Obstagoon while that thing's happening over here. There's not much for him to do. He's just going to be throwing straight avalanches, and the opponent's going to be throwing straight night slashes. Generally, you want to no shield the first one in case they get that boost, right? I mean, Frostlass supposedly wins this matchup on actual 1 HP, depending on IVs, could be a little bit more. And if they get any boost, they win the matchup. So definitely not a great matchup here. 2, 3, 4. I think then getting that one through, if we don't get one back through when they throw, could make the difference here if it's supposed to be a 1 HP matchup. Okay, we get one back through. So can we get one? We need to get one Powder Snow ahead. Oh, we're just dead. GG. All right, what'd you think about that one, RubiksMoose?
Definitely could have gone better.
Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't sure what to do with that Quagsire, and that's probably where I could have done the most better.
Yeah, so let's look up Quagsire versus your Diggersby real quick. Is your Diggersby fairly XL?
Yeah, it's level 50.
That's level 50.
Actually, rank 1. So
yeah, it looks like it's pretty Diggersby. Well, this is with baiting. If you just go straight EQ, because we don't want to be messing around. Let's just assume that they're also not a Mad Lad. We'll just go all EQs. All EQs, they win on CMP, and they swapped in first, so they would be able to kill you, but they'd be at low health, potential farm down for you. In the 2s, they also win the 1s, but they lose the 0s, straight EQ.
Okay.
Dang, that's close as well. That's
Wow.
but like you even if you hit it with one charm first, it doesn't look. They still get that EQ off, right? So it's always going to look that close. You could play to the zeros there, and if you don't get this off, right? They need Stone Edge is 55 at 4.5 is they come out as 5 energy, so they need 10. So they need 6 mud shots, and so your Frostlass would be able to get to the avalanche fast enough to kill them. So they wouldn't be able to like Stone Edge or Frostlass after this, even if they killed you first.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think Diggersby probably a little, and like if we no shield and they like throw a Stone Edge somewhere, then it's like just really good for us. Where like we have no reason to bait, we're just gonna go straight EQ, and
right.
if they shield once and we no shield, like then it looks like this. They get a little bit over from there, but not much. But at that point, maybe we charm them down. It just felt really. We just sacked our Diggersby, and that I think that's what felt bad more than like being late on the swap and like tanking the Stone Edge and then swap. Like that seemed okay, but like bringing the Diggersby in to the loaded Frostlass and just double no shielding felt really bad because.
Yeah, it certainly did feel bad.
We were going to keep outpacing them, right? If we shield one of those, then we start outpacing them to fire punches, and maybe we can threaten. But we were also probably like just already in a really bad spot based off composition, right? Like the goon in the back was always bad for both of our back too. But yeah, that's a tough read off because they were Frostlass lead. That doesn't really tell you much about a team. Normally they'll have, normally I would kind of expect some kind of water. I guess the Quag's their water. And the goon's just there, question mark. And maybe they clearly didn't safe swap the goon, but that's because we were running a charmer. Maybe they normally safe swap the goon, but because we were charm lead, they swapped the Quag instead. And so like they're thinking that it's an ice water within a goon safe swap. Goon's a pretty reasonable safe swap. I mean, it loses to most of the same things that Mandibuzz loses to, and people are safe swapping Mandibuzz everywhere. Yeah, with that Quag swap, and if somebody swaps in a Mudboy on us, probably in our best interest to like shield our Wiggly and just kill it. I think Wiggly can just kind of charm down most of the Mudboys in the 2s. Or we can respond with our own with our own Mudboy, right? Diggersby's thicker than most of them, so in a lot of situations it'll, in the ones there, the zeros, we can win that matchup, and if they bait, it's even better for us. So
makes sense.
There. I mean, they probably always shield this one. I don't know who would my Quagsire is at 50 and they're at 1 HP and I'm going to let my Quag go. I don't think that would happen. They'd probably shield there. But then they're on virtually no energy and in like farm down range for Wiggly.
Right.
And we're up a shield. So I think that counter swapping with Diggersby into some other Mudboy probably a little safer for us. Create some advantage. And let's jump in the next game.
Cool.
Because they have the little ear clip thing that I like. I guess you can't really see it there, but it's the little ear clip things I like. Okay, we get the Frostlass lead again. I think we can tank one Avalanche in this matchup if we want. But Rubik's goes for the shield on the first one, which is fair. Like, we can see they're above half those, so like we know they're going to get to another one. They come into an Escavalier. For we no shield whatever this is because we don't want to give up our second shield. We have Fire Punch for this. That's probably why the Rubik's came in here with chat Acid Spray. 4, 5, 6. Almost to double Fire Punch here. Let's see if the opponent wants to shield these Fire Punches. 7, they should be able to move there, but they got the delay on startup, so we get this off before their second move, which is pretty nice for us. Our defense is down, but not our attack. Those Fire Punches would hurt. I mean, it could go either way here. If we wanted to shield this, I think we get to another one. They just Acid Spray us again. We now have 0 defense left. Just counter, nothing should hit Diggersby that hard. Yeah, Frostlass here resists the counters, so I like coming in with that. Drill Run kind of hurts, but not as much as a Shadow Ball. Mega Horn is resisted. Still does damage. It's a big move. Mega Horn, Stone Edge, Shadow Ball, all that same 55 energy, 110 damage, I think. 2.0 DPE by default. Very hard-hitting moves. Avalanche also 2.0 DPE move. They go into their own Frostlass, down a shield for Shadow Ball. Oh, they catch on their Hypno. Oh, that Hypno's going to be sad about this. But they can't really farm down our Frostlass. If we can swap out here, we probably should, because we don't want them to farm us down. All right, that works. They're going to throw an Avalanche here. We're going to shield it and then throw Play Rough. Oh, they tried to go up to 2. Yeah, I mean, their win condition was being able to throw 2 moves there because we still have the shield, so them not throwing before they get to 2 makes no real difference. But Rubik's closes it out. Play Rough. All right, Rubik's, what do you think about that one?
I think I played that a bit better than the last one. Late swap into the SCAV, but...
Well, like, the extra energy on the Wiggly, pretty meaningful, I think, at the end of that game. They were getting kind of close to 2. So, and, like, you knew that the charge moves from the SCAV aren't going to be the thing that really beats the Diggersby. It's always going to be just the counters are going to add up. So I don't mind swapping out there late, knowing that you have the fire punches, you're going to get to them really fast, and you don't care about taking charge moves. And then they acid sprayed us twice.
Twice, for some reason.
Yeah, they wanted you to have no defense left.
Then they made that really good catch, though.
They did, but like that's a situation where like the really good catch like doesn't feel good because it's on something else where it's super effective.
Yeah.
Like if that had been like a Goon or a Mandibuzz, like that catch is insane. Maybe flips the game, but as it was, just like the Hypno. I was curious why you didn't immediately swap out after they caught.
I was still processing. I was not expecting the swap, so it was just kind of like I was kind of had a mental image that I was going to Shadow Ball this Frostlass, and then we'll see the back line, and then suddenly things kind of changed on me. So
yeah. So in that situation, like some things we would see across the table, like maybe we don't know exactly like if we can get to another move against them or not, but like Hypno, the confusions are a lot of pressure. So like our Frostlass was pretty close in the red or very close to the red. I think in that situation we should be looking be like, oh, our Frostlass isn't going to get to another move, and like as soon as we see that like the Shadow Ball is hitting the Hypno, like we're processing like, oh, the Hypno's going to farm us down. We want to be swapping out right there. So the Hypno has like no chance because the Hypno got I think 3 confusions or 2 confusions or Frostlass and like died throwing the last confusion. Like if he gets off a charge move there, could be a little more awkward down the stretch.
Yeah, for sure.
So just try to process that a little bit. Like we're throwing the move. Oh, they're catching. Oh, it's something that does fast move pressure. I'm at low. I want to swap out right away. And then the Wiggly gets to farm it down. No one move from the Hypno is going to be lethal. So if you get the farm down there, you just immediately throw the move of the Frostlass. GG. You still played it well, and I like the late swap the first time was good. But the second time would have been a little more helpful to swap out right away.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Frostlass leads are awkward for me.
Yes.
So I was a little nervous going into this one as well.
Yeah, let's look that up real quick. Frostlass into Wiggly.
Wiggly can win the 2s, I believe, just from straight charms. But I really don't like going down shields because of Frostlass being my sweeper.
Yes. So what you can do there is what I've got pulled up over here is in the 0 shields. They have to throw 2 moves at you. And like they're throwing the second move at, like this is with sneaking a charm. So if they get it really clean, they'll have a little bit more health. But they essentially throw a second avalanche at you when you're at 22 HP and they're at 11. And I think 11 means that your Frostlass could farm down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if you want to just play the 0s in that matchup, I'm okay with that. If they get like a little greedy and try to overfarm, you're essentially 1 charm away from killing them. Or maybe if they have better IVs, I don't know if there's a breakpoint here. But if for some reason this next charm that would kill them doesn't kill them, it's also the charm that gives you a move. So I'm pretty okay with that. I mean, Wiggly doesn't have very good coverage, so like in some situations like this, it'd be like, well, you just shield the second one, throw that last charm, you have a move coming out of this matchup. But in this meta, like Ice Beam, Play Rough, there's a lot of things that resist both of those, so you might not get the shield back. I think you're a little better off just play the zeros, let it die. Sure, you lose a bunch of energy, but their Frostlass is in farm down range for your Frostlass.
Yeah, both getting rid of a Frostlass and putting energy on mine.
Exactly, and yours will still be really healthy. And we can 11 HP. How much does Frostlass on Frostlass Powder Snow do? Battle does 3, so you'll kill them in 4 Powder Snows, okay. Which means they should never even get to an Avalanche.
Perfect.
So yeah, even if they like you don't get the sneak, I think you still should be okay. But I mean, worst case scenario, if they have slightly more HP because you like missed a charm somehow, that just means you get to like you're essentially farming to almost 2 moves and you're shielding once. And like I'd rather do that with Frostlass than like with the Wiggly, right? Because the Shadow Ball Avalanche is just better coverage.
So the strategy there would be to shield the first one on Wiggly, the first Avalanche, and then the second.
No, we'll just let our Wiggly go. Just let our Wiggly.
Just
go.
let it go. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Just play the zeros. So we're just not going to shield our Wiggly at all. We're going to keep charming them. And if they like miss a Powder Snow somewhere or get a little lag, you might be able to charm them down before they get to second Avalanche. But in theory, they should get to second Avalanche when they're at like 10 HP, and you'll just let yours go, and then you come in with your Frostlass and get like 4 Powder Snows a farm.
Perfect. Yep.
I like it. All right, let's roll.
All right, let's do it.
That jumped right into the game. Get out of this. Frostlass into normal Nidoqueen. Yeah, we no-shield this. If we no-shield this, they might be able to shield twice and kill us. Oh, they go Poison Fang? Got him. That should just be another Poison Fang, so we no-shield again. Maybe we're farming to 2 and then throwing. We can throw 4 more Powder Snows. But we'll be able to... We could have thrown 1 more there to make sure we were at double. There's not much that like will kill the... I mean, we're double Poison Fang, so like maybe a Smackdown user instantly deletes us. Shadowclaw Mew. Diggersby pretty good against Mew because they almost always have Wild Charge, and even if they have Surf, like Diggersby is just so thick. So I definitely want to see us. Oh, but the Wigglytuff. Yeah, I'm okay either way here. He goes into the Diggersby. Diggersby takes a lot of damage from Abomasnow, even though we have the Fire Punches for it. Like, next level play would be like charge 2 Fire Punches, swap out. We could always go for something like that. Because then you're like saving those Fire Punches for either the Abomasnow or you're forcing them to switch out to their Abomasnow and your Wiggly and your Up a Shield. Oh, opponent catches the EQ. Oh, that's rough. Not the position we want to be in. Opponent not going to farm us down. I would definitely shield here to throw this Fire Punch. But Rubik's puts it all in the 2 shield Wiggly. Because I think that like they have enough health that if we get that, we shield for 1 shield there. We get a farm down here. We're like play roughing the Mew for lethal. Shields once in this matchup. I think you have to save the second shield for the Mew because a Wild Charge does more than anything the Abomasnow throws. We charm it down first anyway, so that's good. So this is a situation, chat, where I'd much rather them have 0 shields and us have 1 shield or lower health than the position we're in now where like they have a shield and we have a shield, because the Mew paces us really hard. I will note that to him afterwards that we probably don't throw a move here because we're not going to get to another one, and it just gives them potential free turns. So we shield this. They need... If they're dry now, it's 5 Shadow Claws to a Surf. And I think we kill them in 3 charms. So 1, 2, get him! Oh, Wiggly. Oh man, Wiggly.
Boy, oh boy. I don't know how they caught that earthquake.
That was pretty wild. That was pretty wild.
Overcharged quite a lot.
Yes. That was pretty wild. But you still found a win condition from there. So that's good. I was curious why you your Diggersby, I think, was like 1 away from a fire punch. I was curious why you didn't like shield to get their last shield there.
I figured that my win con was getting Wiggly to just charm them both down.
Okay.
And I knew I would need both of them to do that.
Okay.
So I was kind of weighing the odds. If I get the one shield right, then I can get to a play rough.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't sure. I guess that would have been enough, though.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. And if they let it go, it would have been doubly enough, I guess.
Also true. Because then they'd have to throw a move at your Diggersby to kill it because they couldn't Shadow Claw it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that the safer play there, when you're like, right at or just a little bit away from a move, I think your switch timer was back up, so you could have even swapped out after that if they had shielded
I didn't
it.
notice that.
So I think that would have been a better situation for us. Yeah, because your Diggersby been in for a long time. They threw 2 surfs at it. They caught the EQ. They were just throwing another move there. So like in a time where you've like charged up and thrown about 4 or 5 charge moves, like switch timer. I could go back.
Yeah.
We could go back and look at it later.
Point.
But I'm like fairly certain that your switch timer was up there, and so
I have no doubt. It makes sense that it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Could have thrown one more mud shot there. Throw that fire punch that like really pressures their shield, and then Wiggly doesn't have to do quite as much work. Like, man, you charmed down that Mew, but it was pretty healthy, and that was really close. And I think that if you
that's the other thing, that Mew was healthier than I remembered.
Yeah.
I thought it was less than half.
Mm-hmm.
It was more at 75.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing that probably looked very strange from an outside perspective.
Yeah, because the Mew all we'd been doing was mudshotting it, right? We hadn't put a lot of pressure on it, and then they caught the move we threw at it. So yeah, it was. I also like maybe I thought it was a little lower too, but I still thought like if we get rid of that shield, I think the play rough comes sooner than charming it all the way down.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was pretty close to that play rough too.
Yeah. Also, in that situation where like they have a shield and you're like charming something down, you probably don't want to throw the play rough there.
Yeah, I thought about it too. It's just like, because I'm not going to get to a second one.
Exactly.
And there's no way they don't shield it.
Yep.
So.
And so they're always going to shield it. You're not going to get a second one. And so the only thing you're doing there is giving them a chance to get free turns, right? If they like sneak a Shadow Claw through, that can make the difference in a game.
Yep.
So yeah, if we're wiggling them down, yeah, we probably don't want to throw that move unless they don't have shields.
Makes sense.
Yep. All right, let's get to the next one. And last night when I went to test it, it did not work, chat. And so the Unite stream is in a little bit of danger. We were trying to sort out. So this is a matchup we talked about earlier. We want to just no shield in this matchup. Let the Wiggly go down, and they should be in farm down range for our Frostlass. They can't throw anything here that stops. We got a charm through there. Should be good. Il Duce, appreciate that. Yeah, so that's exactly the situation we want. If we get one more charm through, they're dead, but we don't. That's okay. We now come in with our Frostlass. They should not be able to get to a move before we farm them down. 1, 2, 3. A little head start on our Frostlass into whatever they bring in. Quagsire. Probably, yeah, either one of these. They're both stab, both fairly efficient moves. And glad you still got Legend, Il Duce. I mean, anybody, if you were in Legend range on Go Battle Night, I expect that you should be able to get there. It's still quite a bit of season left, chat. If you're still on the road to Legend, there's a lot of time left. Moo was a savage in his games? Did Moo play his while in his faction match? Nice! Faction match secured, chat. Dojo Squad 4-1 in our inaugural season of factions, and our only loss was to the Chicago Stars by 1 point in a week where just a lot of things went wrong for us, chat. Hey, it's a double Mudboy team. Mud Bomb not lethal here, so I think we can get to 2 avalanches. If we can catch a second Mud Bomb on our Diggersby, that's really good for us. So we want to throw one Shadow Ball still. I should look that up. I think Frostlass into Wishcash against these Mud Boys. Is Shadow Ball... Yeah, Avalanche is the better move here. So Rubiks and I will have a chat about, in those Mud Boy matchups, we want to be probably throwing Avalanche. Yeah, 2 Avalanches to kill a Whiscash, and a Quagsire is not as bulky, so I imagine it's the same. And 2 Avalanches definitely comes out before 2 Shadow Balls. The Quag kills you in the zeros, but yeah, yes, 2 Avalanches still. 4, 5. This is a Mud Bomb. It might not KO. Diggersby is real thick. What's up, Koi Pebble? Oh, we have a Kari cameo. Ooh, Kari. Diggersby so thick, chat. Oh, the Quagsire comes in to catch? How healthy was the Quagsire? Not very. Oh, now he Mudshots down. How close is the Frostlass to a move? 1. So if we'd thrown that Avalanche earlier instead of Shadow Ball, we get to the second Avalanche here and win the game. So that's definitely the takeaway from that one. We'll bring RubiksMoose back in. All right, Rubiks, what do you think about that one?
What was that swap?
That catch?
Yeah, I didn't see the swap at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they exactly timed it.
They were counting really well.
Yeah. The thing that I was looking up during that game and wanted to let you know is that against those Mudboy matchups, Avalanche is more efficient than Shadow Ball, and against both Quag and Whiscash, it takes 2 moves to kill them, and so 2 Avalanches is always going to come out faster, right?
Okay.
So I honestly, that on that one, like, you were 1 away from the Avalanche when they threw that lethal move on you. I think if you'd thrown an Avalanche earlier instead of a Shadow Ball, you CMP there and you win the game.
Yep. I think so.
Yeah, so just a thing to keep in mind for those
good to know.
Mudboy matchups, yeah. Shadow Ball
I've never seen double Mudboy team before.
Frostlass double Mudboy, yeah. Frostlass not, I mean, a Razor Leafer probably just cleans them out, but haven't seen that many Razor Leafers. But yeah,
say that.
Avalanche is just a little more efficient. Shadow Ball 1.56 DPE and Avalanche 1.71 in those neutral matchups. So it's about 10% more efficient. And it's going to take 2 moves to kill him. So it's the only time you would use Shadow Ball is if you like made the hard read that 9 extra damage would kill them. And ELO has been claimed. We learned things and we went up points. Woo!
Can't get better than that.
All right, well, I'm ready for the next one if you are.
Come on.
We got our plan for Frostlass lead. We played the zeros, did that clean, got a little bit of energy lead on our Frostlass. And the next time we see Mud Boys, we avalanche them.
All right,
let's go. And I spent 3 hours trying to fix it last night, uninstalling and reinstalling drivers, restarting my computer, running BIOS update. I just cannot get the USB 3.0 ports to work, chat. This is a tricky matchup for us because they can kill us with 2 moves. This is a matchup where this is not neutral. Shadow Ball definitely more efficient here. This is a desync CMP, so tap out in the middle, not on the button, whenever you think it might be a desync. Oh, we lost CMP, but didn't get an option to... interesting, chat. They know that's not Shadow Ball because we didn't throw enough Powder Snow, so they no-shield it. We get another Avalanche here. We shield, so we should overfarm a little bit. Like maybe throw like 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I like it. Pushing the limit a little bit. Opponent, will they shield for switch here? Yes. All right, so Avalanches are working out a little better. Although if we'd thrown Shadow Ball the first time, I think they're dead already because they no-shield the first one. But if we'd gone to the Shadow Ball and thrown it, they might have shielded it. A little hard to make that read. Goon comes back in. Swap. Ooh, I think we've been a little better off saving this energy because the Wiggly just crushes this Goon so hard, like we don't have to throw energy at it. So we could have saved that for later. Is he just staying in? Ooh, catching. Chat, that was a sweet move. What's up, not playing OSU GG this morning? Awesome throwing Pokeballs at a Mewtwo to catch it. Charm that down. I like the catch there. The catch there was nice. And we did store up some extra energy on the Frostlass. Not quite at the move yet. Jelly comes in with Bubble. Wonder if it's got Ice Beam. Play rough it here before it can throw a Bubble Beam at us. It's pretty nice. He cannot hear me, New Vendetta. During all my coaching sessions, my students are muted and deafened during the game, so we can't hear them. They can't hear us. I'm just talking to you guys, and later when he watches this back, he'll be able to watch this whole thing with my commentary over it to get a fuller picture of what I was thinking and anything else I was saying that I don't bring up after the games. So they have another move pretty much stored up here. 2, 3, 4. So we just don't want to get our EQ caught. There's an Ice Beam. Hopefully they're not right at another one. Kill it. They catch because they were counting. Man, people like, it's pretty savage. Like the Rubik's right now in like the 2300s, high 2300s, and opponents like, it's like 3 or 4 games in a row somebody's caught a move on him. Absolutely insane. And like potentially game-changing catches. But I think we are 1 away from an avalanche, right? 2 away? Oh, if we were 1 away, we'd throw. Just throw the avalanche next time. Oh, all right, we still get there. Still get there. RubiksMoose making my heart jump out of my chest with that going for the Shadow Ball. What do you think about that one, RubiksMoose?
I thought that catch almost sunk me.
Yes, the catch was definitely scary, and I mean, I was just kind of like, this is like the high 2300s. Your opponents are like 23, 2400, and like we have seen a lot of like really savage catches. Like it is not, opponents in this range are not easy. Chat, like it's
and I 2 days ago I jumped up 150 points, so it's kind of like I'm entering a different league here.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got a team and a plan, and opponents making savage catches, not winning them games against you, so that's good. I was a little curious why you went for the Shadow Ball against the red HP Jellicent.
At the end?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Chad, he's being modest. He was definitely flexing, I guess, because I don't know how else he justified what he did to my heart there, other than he just really needed to flex on his opponent.
Insta swap Wiggly against Goon? At what point?
Oh, so you threw an avalanche at the Goon? You threw an avalanche at the Goon? Like you just charged up to an avalanche, threw the avalanche, and then kept charging, and then you caught. The catching, like, made that play work, but you would have been in a much better position if you had saved that avalanche and just swapped right to Wiggly.
Yeah, I think one thing I need to work on is awareness of the switch clock.
Okay.
At some point, I don't know if it's just my playstyle or whatever, but I have become less observant to the switch clock.
Okay.
So, and I think that's something I definitely need to pay more attention to.
Yeah. And I think part of that comes down, and this is going to sound kind of weird, but like it's about paying less attention to things that are just happening. Like you're just throwing your fast moves there. Like you can focus on your tapping and your animation and their animation. You can be focusing on that, but like none of that's really changing.
Right.
And so like, I would just like, when you're doing that, like just, you can be looking at the switch timer. Like nothing's gonna be happening while you're tapping.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like you'll see their switch anyways. Like you see them switch in, like, oh, they switched. Oh, my switch timer's up. I can switch too. But like I get it. It's really easy to like zero in, focus, laser lock. And we talked about like the fixing the computer thing before stream. Like it's really easy to get like focused in on the one thing and like be doing that. But like if we can step back from that a little bit, like we don't have to focus that hard on tapping or seeing the moves animations happening. We can focus a little bit more on the other things.
Good point.
It's kind of a, for those of you that'll be playing Unite coming up, it's focusing a little less on what your character's doing and checking the mini-map periodically. Mini-maps are important, chat. But yeah, so if we can just, you know, save that energy there, it's a little cleaner, right? Because then essentially what happens is at the end of that game, our Frost Class comes back in and already has that move loaded. Makes it a little easier. And also our Frost Class has a little bit more health, so maybe if there's a situation where we could get to another one if we needed to. But I think that your catch definitely salvaged that line. That was just a riskier line.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I was actually surprised they hard swapped their goon back in, knowing I had a Wigglytuff.
Yes. That, I mean, you know, your opponent is in the 2400s. They make really good plays sometimes, and they also, like, give up switch sometimes. You know, and those are, like, you know, the little things, like, you know, that lost him a game today, and if it loses him a game next week and the week after that, like, it makes it harder for them to get to 2700, 2750. But we want to improve our games and win a few more games and get there.
All right,
let's do the next one. If this is Snarl Mandy, they're just out. They're just out. So, yep, they go to their Seismitoad. This is a little bit weirder, Mudboy, because it has a water move, but it's muddy water.
Saw what you did
and I
out
think,
there. And all of
I suspect that muddy water from Seismitoad is less efficient than, like, oh, we get attack drop. That's okay. We just go straight Earthquake here. We can live with your muddy water shenanigans. Chidori Chu, thank you for supporting the dojo by rating. Welcome in Chidori Chu and Raiders. For those that don't know, Chidori Chu, awesome streamer here on Twitch. Also, awesome cat family member, cat dad-ish. Has many adorable cats on his stream. So we should be able to just go for a Fire Punch here, because they're really low. So we just tank this one, Fire Punch him. But if you, and Chidori Chu has been legend, I believe, every season and on the leaderboard quite a bit. We pushed it a little bit much there, and CMP'd here. Diggersby does not win many CMPs, so we're going to give up a shield to try to maintain switch, which makes sense. They have a Mandibuzz, chat, and we have a Wigglytuff. I like being willing to go for switch. They give it up. They're going to bring in their Mandibuzz and snarl us down, which feels bad. Oh, it's Air Slash. Not as bad as if it was Snarl. Better to get Air Slash down than Snarl down in this situation. But the Air Slash is also a little more threatening to the Wigglytuff. And the Fire Punches here with the Muddy Water debuffs not doing a lot. But wisely, RubiksMoose staying in, not giving up switch, knows which matchup he wants. We paid a shield for this switch matchup. We're going to get it. Opponent's going to stay in to throw an aerial ace here. Interested to see if they swap out again. They safe swapped Seismitoad the first time. Nope, staying in now. Yes, Mandibuzz has some play in this matchup, chat. It's pretty bulky, and it kind of can whittle you down some. Based off how much health we have and how much health they have, we're going to need a good matchup in the back. I'm not sure Fighter's good enough. Okay, it dies. Be tapping a move. We don't want to die with energy. Ooh, Ferrothorn. Let's see if it has Thunder. We have play. Oh, we get the shield. Never mind. We're back in business, chat. And this is a neutral matchup. I think it's going to take 2 moves to kill, so I like going for the Avalanche. If they have any steel move, we are in trouble. But 1 Power Whip won't kill, so if they have Thunder, we have play. So this is a situation where maybe it's Shadow Ball. Let's look it up real quick. That is a Ferrothorn. I think there are 2 moves. There's a Power Whip. This should just be another Power Whip. It can't be a Flash Cannon. And if they throw back-to-back Power Whips, they're dry. This Power Whip costs 50, so that was literally all their energy. Oh, that Bullet Seeds comes through. Shadow Ball does 49.6 Avalanche, so this might be the one matchup where it matters, chat. Shadow Ball does almost 50%. Oh, Avalanche is enough. Awesome. Cool. So we won't have to talk about that. All right, RubiksMoose, what do you think about that one?
Thought it went pretty well. Ferrothorn's a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
Avalanche is the correct move there, yeah?
So I was looking that up. I've got it up on stream right now. So Avalanche is more efficient, but it was like that was dangerously boring. So Shadow Ball does 49.6%, and Avalanche does 44.8%.
Oof.
So that was almost. I was like, chat, this might be the one situation where the move that is less efficient but does slightly more damage is the move we're supposed to throw, but they were below 44.8%, so they died. But that meant that you over farmed a little bit.
Yeah, I was debating. That exact debate was going through my head, and I was just like,
yeah. So that's, I mean, those are the really niche situations, right? Where you have two moves. Avalanche is slightly better in all the neutral matchups. It's cheaper. Generally, you throw it, but like the way the damage was just kind of adding up there, like it got them low enough that, you know, if they were like just under half, the one Shadow Ball is better. I mean, it's only the Shadow Ball does 6 more damage. So it's like that's a pretty niche situation. So I don't mind that you went for Avalanche there. Although I would like for if you can make that decision sooner, to throw it a little earlier, so that then you know
where
Because if we get there and like if I wasn't here with you looking at this sim right now, you might think like, oh, that Avalanche did plenty of damage, and the next time you might throw it and it'd be a little earlier and it wouldn't be enough.
Yeah,
that's true. Goop's also pointing out that the Wiggly still had a little bit of health on it. I really liked that you threw the move and immediately swapped out at the end. That was really nice. Want to say that because a couple times before you've like thrown a move and thought this time you threw the move, you're like, no, we're not letting them farm me down. Immediate swap. Liked that a lot. That way they didn't get an energy lead. I think we got a little bit lucky that like clearly they were running Power Whip Thunder. If they had any of the steel moves, I think we lose.
Yes.
But yeah, you shield the first one and then they immediately threw again. So like, oh look, it's another Power Whip. It can't be anything else. So that felt pretty good. But I think most of the rest of that was you over farmed a little bit with your Diggersby in that matchup against the Seismitoad. And you let them get to another Muddy Water, then you had to shield to win switch.
Oh, yes.
I think I just would reiterate something that you may have heard me say to other people. Like right now, we're at the place where like we want, if you get to a lethal move, I want you to throw it.
Yep.
So we don't risk that situation, because if we throw first there and they shield and we get to shield, that's fine. We'll get to the next one. If we throw there and they no shield, like we didn't lose that much health after that. Like we're still gonna get snarled down, but I'd rather air slash down. But I'd rather have 2 shields than 1.
Yep, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely kicked myself when that Muddy Water came through.
Yeah. So just reiterate that if you got lethal, throw it, and then well played in the back half of that one. The instant switch, and then debating a little bit on the move, but it worked out. Either one of them would have been lethal in that situation. So not nearly as scary as you going up to the Shadow Ball and the red HP Jellicent. So, but I'm good for the next one. If you are, we still got about 30 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I imagine this is not a great lead because Lapras is very bulky and its moves are fairly efficient. But I would like us to play the zeros, I think. We get a charm through there. It takes us 10. So we have to take 2 surfs. Do we survive 2 surfs to get to a play rough? That looks like no, chat. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to throw again here. I would shield this because I think then we can farm down. Yeah, I like that play. I think that charm going through means we get a farm down here. And right now they were healthy enough that like neither of our mons could really farm them down from there. So like we may not get a shield back with this energy. Ideally we do. Looks like we will. Frostlass probably want to shield this this play rough. And then I would honestly switch out here. We'll see if Rubik stays in and just chunks it a little bit more. I don't think that those 2 charms change a Fire Punch being lethal. So that's why I thought just swapping out right away would be a little better. Because now they have a Frost Slice with an energy lead. 2, 3, We could have tried to catch right here on Diggersby. If they'd thrown Shadow Ball, that would have been Pog. They swap out to a fighter. But now we don't have shields, chat. So we need to catch at 7.
I guess the bad guys.
Bad Hand giving another sub to Gundog TV. Thank you, Bad Hand, for gifting that subscription to Gundog. Welcome in, Gundog. Can we catch a... Oh, we don't catch. I think if we caught a Rock Slide on the Diggersby, maybe it's low enough that Fire Punch is lethal, and we get to keep our Frostlass pretty healthy. So we had 2 chances there to make pretty game-changing catches, coming from behind on the lead situation. So maybe we'll talk about looking for opportunities to catch. He definitely has caught some moves before. 1, 2. I think we're still 2 counters away, and they still have a Frostlass. So I think that so run it back mentally. If we had instant swapped to the Diggersby after throwing the Play Rough, they go to Machamp. Yeah, they probably come out of that with some farm. I mean, this is really close. I think if we catch a move, we win there. All right, RubiksMoose, what do you think about that one?
Their backline really was not friendly towards mine.
Yes, especially once they were up a shield. But I do like the way you played that lead matchup. I like the recognizing you got a charm through, and they weren't going to get to another surf, and you'd have a move loaded. You just charmed them down, and you got the shield back. So they no shielded. They no shielded the Play Rough, right?
I was shocked that they no shielded the Play Rough on the Frostlass.
So from that position, because I expected them to shield too, but they didn't. As soon as you throw the Play Rough, because you're down a shield and that Frostlass is going to farm you down, I would have immediately swapped to Diggersby.
Okay. Yeah, there was 3 possibilities: staying in, swapping to Frostlass and Diggersby, and they were all playing in my mind.
Yeah.
Because I was like, obviously, what I decided was to keep Switch.
Yeah.
Which in the end didn't really mean much.
Yeah, I think most teams, as soon as you see that Frostlass come in and they're up a shield, Switch does not matter anymore.
Okay, yeah.
Like they have a Frostlass up a shield. What we really don't want is the Frostlass up a shield and a head on energy. Yeah. If you bring in the Diggersby right there, Diggersby gets to Fire Punch before they get to Avalanche, and you can get that shield back, or they let it go, and then they don't have the Frostlass anymore. I think that in my mind that was after seeing their last mon, right, we swap in the Diggersby there, they probably go to the Machamp. But we still have play from that situation. Like you saw, your Diggersby down a shield still killed the Machamp. So they would have switched there, but I think you still play. The other thing is, I think you had 2 chances to catch moves, and I think either of them wins you the game. Do you can you rewind back to what those 2 chances were?
Let's see. The Rock Slide?
Yep, that was the one at the end there. If we'd caught the Rock Slide on Diggersby, that would have been really huge.
Their lead was Lapras. Catching a Surf wouldn't have helped.
Nope.
So it would have been the Shadow Ball on Diggersby.
There you go. Yep. If you catch that Shadow Ball on Diggersby, your Frostlass is still 3/4 health and has some energy loaded. Could really, really change the end of the game. And the Shadow Ball is going to do nothing to the Diggersby. Or if you catch that Rock Slide on the Diggersby, I think either of those positions puts you in a really good spot for the remainder of the match. Even coming from that spot where we let the Frostlass get an energy lead on us, I think that deleting that energy by catching a Shadow Ball in a normal type brings you back in, or being able to store some energy on your Frostlass against the Machamp, and then catching that Rock Slide on the Diggersby where it's going to be resisted. I think both of those were possible win conditions.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's because at that point, we have to realize that we're behind, right? We have to be doing.
As soon as they brought in that Frostlass and they were up a shield and then up energy, I was really
yeah. At that point, we recognize we're behind. We need to make some kind of risky play here. And like the most obvious risky play is trying to make a good catch, right? If we can make some kind of catch here, that can like bring us back into the game. The way you played it out, like even from that disadvantaged position, like that ended up being very close. Like 2 mud shots, 3 mud shots, like it was very close. So I think if we did either of those moves to like negate some of their energy in there, I think that it definitely would have changed the outcome.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I like the way you played the lead. When we're down a shield and a Frostlass comes in, we probably want to go straight to Diggersby, because Diggersby outpaces Frostlass, and they're going to want to shield the Shadow Ball, the Fire Punches, so that can help us get back into it. But if we're in a position where we're down shields and energy to a Frostlass and our switch is up, we really want to be looking for like, I want to catch that Shadow Ball on Diggersby.
Yeah. And I think switching to Diggersby would have been the play from my Wiggly. I think my thought when I was swapping is that I was really hoping I was going to burn the shield, of course. I was just hoping that Frostlass could threaten the back enough to take out both the shields for Diggersby to just bulk it out and sweep that way. But of course...
But in that matchup where it's our Frostlass against another Frostlass and they're ahead, like our Frostlass is no longer our...
Oh, that's true, yeah.
It needs some help. And also another added benefit, if we do go straight to our Diggersby and they bring in the Machamp there, like they're switch locked then, we gotta throw some Fire Punches, go back and forth, but like our Wigglytuff's almost always gonna land at least one charm on that Machamp, which could be pretty huge.
Yes, that's a good point.
Because like at that point we still have a third Mon if we swap out right there immediately. So another little piece of the puzzle, like what other like little advantages can we eke out of that? Like swapping right to the Diggersby so they don't get the energy advantage is good, and also we still have maybe the Wigglytuff's there for a catch later, right? Or to throw a couple charms that'll be more impactful later than they are right now. We're just like putting the Frostlass in the red, but nothing can farm it down.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Little things we can work on. We'll try see if we get him this game. All right, Escav. Go straight to Diggersby. They swap out to Dugong. Some lag. Looks like that looked mutual. It looked like they got a few through, but then our energy jumped up as well. A little awkward when that happens, but still definitely playable. They shield the first one. I think we just like no shield this man. Like nothing they throw here one-shots us. And like Diggersby's doing Diggersby things. Both of our other Mons have decent matchups against 1, 2. They're going to farm us down. Frostlass has a pretty good matchup against the Escav. And at this point now our Frostlass is up a shield. So I think we just come back in Wiggly here and just wiggle on this guy. Like the Frostlass coming in here, it makes them throw moves that are a little less efficient. But like we don't really want to get debuffed on our Frostlass, and we want to save its health because it's our sweeper here. We've created the situation we want. Like we're a Frostlass team. The situation we want is to make our Frostlass up shields and some kind of farm down, right? So we just keep no shielding the Wiggly. I love it. And I think the play here is we charm this down and then immediately swap to Frostlass. Because like letting them farm us down doesn't help. We're not at a move yet. So just be clicking the Frostlass. We want to go Frostlass. We want to go Frostlass. Click on it. Oh, we just gave him energy for nothing. All right. Like the Frostlass has to kill the back thing anyway. So it's not like locking the Frostlass in here. Like they can counter swap, but like their counter swap is going to happen either way. So no shields the drill run. Ouch, chat. We gotta shield things. We gotta shield things. Seems like Kevin's got his day planned out. I don't think Avalanche kills from here. It's resisted. It'll be close. It'll put him in the red. But this is not a quote-unquote neutral. Oh, they shield? We just immediately go for another Avalanche. Okay, we get to farm down. Oh, but it's Mandibuzz. Just too much. And imagine this situation, chat, if we still had that Wigglytuff, right? Wigglytuff at the end there, and they had less energy. Yep. All right, what do you think about that one, RubiksMoose?
Not happy with that one.
What could we have done differently?
Good question. I'm not sure.
Okay, so they had Escav lead, and we immediately swapped out, which I don't... We could look... I'm going to look that one up real quick. Escav into Wiggly. I imagine it's not great for us. I think some of the true fairies beat Escav, but Wiggly may not because it's normal type, secondary typing. So Wiggly loses... If you 2-shield the Wiggly, it just wins that matchup. But like generally, we're not in the business of like hard 2-shielding. Because we would have to shield twice before we even threw a move.
Right.
So that's generally not the play we like. So I like the swap out. The swap out was good. Having seen this, and even when it happened, I was like, yeah, we swap out this. We have Fire Punch. It's super effective, double super effective. We get the response of the Dugong. We go straight EQ. We get a shield. We get them in range where we can charm them down. Liked all of that. You charm down the Dugong. You're up 2 shields to 1. Your Wiggly's not quite at a move yet. I really would have liked us to, like, as soon as the Dugong died, just be mashing the Frostlass. Like, I'm just like, I see you tapping on the screen. I was like, man, we should be mashing the Frostlass right now. The Frostlass is up a shield. We know one of their Mons is in a Scav. Like, our Wiggly's so low, it's not killing anything. So, like, the best thing we can do here is not give them more farm. If we lock in our Frostlass and the back matchup's bad for us, like, it was a loss anyways. Because the Frostlass is going to have to kill both. So I really would have liked, in that situation, like, we killed them on, we have a little bit of a second there to think, we know we're not at the move yet, we're in the red, like, we're up a shield, like, we're going Frostlass. Frostlass is our win condition here. And I think in both the last game and this one, we both saw that, like, the Wiggly in the position that our opponent puts it in is not very impactful. They bring their Escav back in, we get, like, 2 resisted charms off, not very impactful. But if we immediately go to Frostlass there's, like, some real situations where that Wiggly comes back in on a Mandibuzz with Snarl and does, like, some real damage. And can also get to a charge move.
Makes sense.
And also we were double debuffed. Like, even if we got to the charge move there, like, the Escav wasn't going to shield it. Like,
right, yeah.
So I think, you know, our opponent wanted us in that situation, like, oh, we're debuffed, we're in the red. They're going to, like, they're like, oh yeah, I get to farm this down. And, like, our counterplay there, what we want to be doing, our game plan, is we got a shield lead for our Frostlass. Now we just don't want to give them any extra energy. We're just, Frostlass is going to come in and kill things.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, I think we had the tools there. I think we had the tools. It would have been pretty close. Hard to read exactly how they would have played it from there. They would have stayed in and thrown moves to your Frostlass, or immediately swapped out if you hard locked it. But I think either of those still were in a little better spot than giving up the Wiggly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And as a side point, I've been looking at the leads I've been seeing. Dig's lead might not be the worst thing to swap back to. That's the way I originally ran this team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't mind it, but, like, I think we're still positive.
I think we're still good.
So
we're still positive, so I'm not going to change anything. But
yeah,
I'm keeping an eye on it.
We're still positive, and, like, in most situations where Dig would have been a good lead, like, counter swapping it has not been bad. Like, as our safe swap. Like, I still.
Yep.
Even the games that we've lost, they've been close, or I felt like we had play. So.
Yep.
I think that the team's doing fine. I wouldn't mix that up too much.
Cool. Yep, I agree.
All right, let me get a few more in. Let's go for it. It's true. Those, like, this team is ABA weak to some stuff, but, like, we haven't seen those, right? That's one of the things. Like, you can be ABA to weak to something, and if we see it once in 10 games, like, that's okay. Like, we can be double weak to steals and fires, as long as we don't see them that often, right? They're kind of edge of the meta, and we'll see leads like this. Although I think that beats. Oh, just stay in. Oh, don't swap. Oh man, we could have just charmed this down. I think we fell prey to, like, they swapped, I need to swap. Like, if we win switch there, like, we're in a really good spot. And Frostlass into Mandibuzz doesn't feel as good, and now they can, like, force... We tanked the first move, so now they can double shield and force switch. And then they get the Machamp on our Diggersby. Although if we're up 2 shields... It just felt like we gave our Frostlass we traded our Frostlass for 1 shield. And our Frostlass is much more valuable than 1 shield, chat. I think that's the part of that feels suboptimal. But we get to charm this down, and then we get to see, like, they're ABA weak to charm, so I expect the third thing to be like a gnarly anti-charmer, some kind of Nidoqueen or Steel type, but they might be triple weak to charm. It's their own charmer, chat. Their own charmer. Okay, we stored a move. Okay, we get to EQ here. Do we bait? We bait. We're definitely shielding, chat. Definitely please shield this. Your Wigglytuff doesn't have enough health for it to charm down both. We're ahead of them on energy. Yeah, I would have liked us to go to the EQ. Throw the Fire Punch. Don't get CMP to get. Oh, why aren't we throwing moves? Okay, we shield this. We have to. The energy. We needed that energy. 1, 2. Because his Wiggly's just healthier than ours. His Wiggly's just healthier. We're not going to get 2 moves. And the Wiggly's not going to get to a move either. I think if we shield that, throw that Fire Punch, maybe their Wiggly comes in and charms us down. But that was a tough one. I think Rubiks was able to figure out some of this stuff. All right. How'd you feel with that one?
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Misplay from beginning to end.
Yeah, a little bit. There were definitely some things we could do better there. What was the first thing you felt we could have done better?
Panic swapping to Frostlass there.
Yeah.
I could have just farmed that Mandibuzz all the way down.
That's what I'm talking. Yes. I like that. I like that read. I like that one. Yeah, the Mandibuzz with Snarl. Yes. Wiggly can just charm it down in the zeros. They'll leave you, like, pretty low, but you'll have a move loaded.
Yes.
So yeah, I like that read. What else could we have done better, even after we swapped our Frostlass into the Mandibuzz?
Throwing a move.
Yes, we got
the Fire Punch specifically.
Yes, Frost. Let me look up Frostlass menu real quick, because, like, we know they have a Machamp, and we have a Diggersby. So, like, the things we want are shield advantage, or shields down, or switch. Right? If they have no shields left, we EQ the Machamp. Haha, you thought your Machamp could get us, whatever. So if we can get shields out of the way, good for us, even if we lose switch. So Frostlass can win the 1s and 2s against Mandibuzz. It's, like, really close, but definitely, I mean, that's 1 HP in the 2s. But they would have been down a little bit of health, and they didn't have enough of energy, I don't think. So I think, like, so in our mind, right? I mean, we're doing a little bit of panicking because we made the wrong swap. I understand that. But, like, what we want to be thinking is, like, okay, we swapped out. We have a Wigglytuff. They have a Machamp. So switch is kind of important. And this is while we're tapping. We're tapping on our phone. We're throwing Powder Snows. They're throwing Snarls. Whatever. We're like, switch is kind of important. Or if we have them shields down, our Diggersby just EQs the Machamp. So what we want to do in that middle matchup is we want to shield.
Just shield.
Yeah. So if we shield that first foul play and we throw an Avalanche and then they shield, we just shield again. And we should be able to win the 2s. Or if they no shield that middle one, you know, we win the 1s. So we, like, but even if we just, like, over shield in that matchup, I guess in the 2s we come out really low, so it's not like we come out with a move loaded. But I mean, even then it's the 0 shield situation, and they're going to have something with 1 fast move, and we 1 switch. So we get to put the Wiggly on the Machamp that's got 1 counter, or we get to put Diggersby or Wiggly on whatever the back thing is with 1 fast move advantage. So I think, just generally speaking, like our game plan, like yes, we could have just stayed and farmed it down. That probably was best. Once we make that swap, we're like tapping, we're thinking, how do I create the situation I want? I want switch so I can charm down the Machamp, or I want shields down so I can EQ the Machamp. And I think we had an opportunity, even in that matchup, to create one of those situations. But then I also, like you also pointed out, like if you throw that second fire punch at the Machamp, you either get their last shield or the Machamp dies. And I think that would have helped. I'm not sure if you get to another fire punch against the Wigglytuff, which you probably needed at that point, because their Wigglytuff was healthier than yours. But like you got to 1 more move. So if they shield that fire punch, I think you just win. They probably counter you down from there. Your Wigglytuff comes in, you charm them down, you shield the cross chop, and then you get to throw play rough at their Wiggly, and I think it's probably enough. But it
would be better,
close. Yeah. Or if they no shield the fire punch, I think Machamp comes down. Maybe you can get to another fire punch against the Wiggly, and then you're like pretty close on HP, and you can maybe wiggle them down. But yeah, so have the lethal, throw the lethal. We had a chance there to put that into practice, and missed that chance, but we'll have more chances. And we'll remember the previous time and this time, and next time we'll have lethal, throw lethal. And also, like, just our team's general strategy, if they have a fighter lead, we want switch or shields down. So in whatever the middle matchup is, we want to be creating a switch or shields down situation. So we don't have to be afraid to over shield in that middle matchup. All right, looks like we have time for probably 1 more.
All right, let's try to end on a good one.
Yeah, I mean, we either get to end with learning more things or winning, or hopefully both. But I encourage you to join and be part of the community first. Well, this is a bottom third game, chat. That was a poison lead into a hard answer for our Frostlass swap. I guess I'm a little curious why we Frostlass swap instead of Diggersby swap. I guess he's thinking that Diggersby is our harder answer.
Then I guess the bad guys.
But again, we want to commit shields. We want a low shield situation at the end of this game. MWM5062. Subscribe for 3 months in advance. Thank you so much for supporting the dojo by subscribing for 3 months. I would shield again. We're 1 away. We're 1 away. All right, we're wiggling. Is that enough farm to get to a Ice Beam before it comes in with the Diggersby? I'm confused, chat. But let's see how this works out. The Diggersby resists the Shadow Claws, so does Wigglytuff. Diggersby takes neutral damage from foul play. This is a not purified Sableye, so it does not have return. So it doesn't really have a move the Wiggly need to worry about. We're not getting a lot of farm advantage off of this. Let's see what your line is, Rubiks. That is a Celio in the back. 4, 5. That's a Body Slam. We don't shield this. We do shield this. Pretty sure we could tank a couple of those. Diggersby's real thick. Yeah, this was, I mean, it was hard counter city, but I think we had lines through this. I think we shield the Frostlass, we get shields down. In a shields down situation, like, the Wiggly is really strong against these mons, and the Diggersby has a chance to just one-shot Nidoqueen. Whereas in the ones, it's more awkward. They swap here, they're going to outpace us pretty hard. We're not going to get to this Ice Beam. Like, it's true we could not win Switch. We had a bad lead matchup and could not win Switch. But from there, we have to look at, like, what things can we do to create a good situation. But at this point, we shielded a Body Slam, so we have no shields left. 4, debating with the Fire Punch. I mean, they just have to Poison Fang us and then let their Mon die. Like, I don't think they ever shield here. Switches it up, maybe gets the Earthquake. Nope. It registered the first tap. He realized during that time that he should throw EQ instead. They actually shield. Unexpected. 2, 3. Well, he gets to kill this one. Gets to kill this one. But I think if we shield the Frostlass in that middle matchup and try to create a shields down situation, I think we're in a little better spot. 2, 3. Yeah, the Poison Fang debuff. Too much with the Powder Snows. All right, Rubiks. That was definitely a bottom third matchup. I just want to say that straight out. Like, that was not the matchup you wanted to end on. But I'm still interested if you think there were things we could have done better there.
I don't think I should have shielded the Frostlass. I thought I could get to the move, but I couldn't. So it was just a wasted shield.
I think that once you shield the first one, I think that shielding the second one to get to the move becomes worth it.
Okay. Because
we have a Diggersby, and Diggersby excels in shields down situations.
Right.
And so I think anytime we can create that shields down situation is going to be better for us out of those mid matches when we can't win switch, right? Like, that was a situation like they are in total control of the middle matchup. I think the best thing we can do there is then try to just take all their shields. We want all your shields if we can. So I'm okay giving up shields, take their shields there. Because then they get like 3 more Shadow Claws to farm you down. Which isn't a lot of energy, and it wasn't a purified Sableye, so it didn't have return. I was curious why. Okay, so you know their lead's a Nidoqueen.
Yeah.
And there's a Sableye in front of you, and I was curious why you didn't come in with the Wigglytuff there.
Let's see, you're talking about the...
So they killed your Frostlass with the Sableye.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And you came in Diggersby.
Yeah, that would have been the much better alignment.
Okay. So yeah, because like the once you've lost switch, the Wiggly's gonna face that Nidoqueen. So like the less health you have on it is kind of better.
Yeah.
So the situation I want you to we're gonna walk through like mentally here in that game. That's clearly a bottom third game. That's a hard loss lead, and they have a hard answer to your switch. I think there's still a line there where we start off, we instant swap out to Frostlass. I like that. That's fine. Diggers, I was like, maybe you swap to Diggersby there. If you're more comfortable swapping this Frostlass in that middle matchup, that's fine. I don't mind. So we swap to Frostlass. They bring in the Sableye. I think at that point we want, we're ahead on energy, so we should be able to keep getting to avalanches. Like, Shadow Claw and Powder Snow generate energy at the same rate, and we were 1 Powder Snow ahead. So we're always going to get to an avalanche just before they get to a foul play. Or we should. I mean, maybe they sneak one through or something. But we want to just keep, eating their shields. So we eat their shields. We shield the second one so that we can throw that avalanche. They shield it because they're like, I have a Nidoqueen, you have a Wigglytuff. I want to win switch. And we're like, that's okay. Now they have a Sableye with a 3 Shadow Claw lead. It doesn't have return. They're at half health. Now we can come in with Wigglytuff and farm. And maybe our Wigglytuff can get to an Ice Beam before the Nidoqueen kills us. And that could potentially kind of flip things from there. Celio into Diggersby, while annoying, I don't think is bad because their best move in the matchup is Body Slam, and it's not very efficient, and you really outbulk them.
I didn't know. That was probably my other mistake. I was not aware that... Does Celio not have an ice or water move?
It does, but they're terrible. I guess if it had Aurora Beam, that's a little better. Water Pulse might also be better. They're both a little bit better than Body Slam. But they're just not... Let's see, in the zero... I want 0 shields. Diggersby in the zeros against Celio. They're probably running Water Pulse. That's more standard than Aurora Beam. You just barely lose the matchup in the zeros. You lose the matchup, that's 40 energy, 49 energy. Wait, 40... No, you're one much sandbox mode. Why are you doing this? Mud shot there, and EQ here. So if you are... Where's the Body Slam lethal? 31? if you have a 1 mudshot lead, you'll beat. No, that doesn't kill. Why doesn't? I grabbed the wrong one. I'm trying to like make the sim show like this. You're not. Oh, you're not done until after that one. So with a 1 mudshot lead, this is. So that's a CMP there right now on the screen. But if you had a 1 mudshot lead, you beat the Celio and the Zeros, even with its water move.
Wow. All right.
So I think if we give up more of the Wigglytuff's health, like we go to the Zeros, and at that point, like Wigglytuff is the punching bag. It's here to absorb damage guy, and the Diggersby is our win condition. Especially since we know they have a Nidoqueen. So I think we come in with the Wigglytuff, we charm down the Sableye. Maybe it throws a Power Gem at us. We're at half. We probably get to an Ice Beam against the Nidoqueen, and like as soon as we throw that, we can hard swap to our Diggersby, and the Diggersby here has like 28 health left in this zero shield situation where if we're 1 ahead we win. So like we and every mud shot we get there just makes us kill them sooner. So we could like run through a bunch, like maybe if they poison fang us, then they get to the lethal before the second earthquake. But like, I definitely think that there is play there, and it was potentially winnable.
That makes sense, and I think that's a good way. I think my instant thought was just like, Sableye doesn't threaten Diggersby. I'm going to gather energy there.
Mm-hmm.
Question mark?
Yeah. And like the Shadow Claws don't do much, but like the Diggersby takes neutral damage from foul play.
And return does hit hard.
But they didn't have return.
They didn't have return.
Yeah.
Right.
It does hurt hard. That's true. But like them not being purified, like that means the second was Power Gem. So like, yeah, I guess. But like the foul plays are going to add up, and the Diggersby, like you ended up killing the Sableye, and you like didn't have. It's like it wasn't like you could farm to 100 there. Like you clearly weren't comfortable just farming up in that matchup. Whereas like Wigglytuff just literally just charms it down. And if at that point, like and like from our opponent's perspective, the mid matchup goes a little longer. We throw 2 more charge moves. They're a little lower on health. We bring the Wigglytuff back into farm down. They realize, oh, he's gonna farm me down and he's gonna Ice Beam my Nidoqueen. There's a chance that they hard swap there. Like, that's giving them a chance to make a mistake. They hard swap there. We get to bring our Diggersby in and lock it in on the Nidoqueen. That's really good for us. So, like, it also... So, maybe that line gets us a win, and it's close, and it could work. But that's, like, a line to win from a very bad situation. So, we like to try to find those and play those when we can. It would have
felt a lot better.
Yeah.
For sure.
And and it also, by playing that line, puts more pressure on our opponent and gives them chances to make mistakes. So that's what we're looking for from there. It's like, oh, can we make our opponent make a mistake? Can we make such good plays and put them in a position that even they were ahead, they feel pressured? And like watching your Sableye get charmed down and knowing they're going to Ice Beam your Nidoqueen puts mental pressure on our opponent to like do something. So that was a tough one to end on. But I think
lots of good learning, though.
Yeah, I think there's a lot, and like that's maybe, and you're gonna see more of those, right? The Nidoqueen lead is not uncommon. So
Nidoqueen lead was my favorite when I led Diggersby.
Yes. So with the current line, Nidoqueen lead not our favorite, and most of the time they're going to have like Amanda Buzz or some kind of like dark or it's Nidoqueen almost always has a dark type behind it. That's just Nidoqueen, right? It's weak to confusion. It has dark types behind it. So you're gonna have opportunities to do that. So you go to your Frostlass, they bring in some dark type. We want to create a low shield situation, and then we want to farm down their dark type with Wigglytuff.
I like it. All right, well, thank you very much, Ninja, for your coaching as always, and your great content all the time.
You are welcome. Appreciate you coming on, sharing your games with us. Chat, hope you have an awesome afternoon, morning, or evening, wherever you are. I'd like to thank you for joining us today in the dojo. If you value these coaching VODs, you can give this video a like, you can subscribe to my channel, or you can leave some feedback below in the comments. Also, in the description are links to my Twitter and Twitch. You can follow me there for additional content. I live stream on Twitch Monday through Friday starting at noon Pacific. I would love to have you join us there so we can learn and grow together.